you guys continue this stretch of these final games?
I mean, it's incredibly important. He's our heartbeat. I mean, he's our leader. He's our captain. So to see him step up the way he did in this last game, I mean, sometimes it's like, where was that? Where's that? Some games when we need him the most. Like, but I'm proud of him and like he's just so selfless. And sometimes we need him to be more selfish, like he was in UCF, and in the constraints of the team and winning, obviously. But I definitely think he stepped up in a big way. We're gonna need that moving forward in this last stretch.
That 3-pointer you hit over their center, the 7-footer, what was kind of going through your head after you saw him kind of roll off of that screen?
I mean, in those moments, I mean, the team, it's a joke. They call me the closer. I mean, in those moments, I know I have to make a play, and I didn't have the best game shooting-wise. So just knowing, obviously, it's 2 seconds on the clock, I'm not really going to drive a 7-footer to the basket. So just be able to create some separation to where he wouldn't be able to get a clean contest. I think that was my biggest goal in my mind. I'm going to get around the screen and create enough space where I can get this shot off.
I was talking with Coach about the roller coasters, the ups and downs you guys have gone through this year, and there's been pretty big highs and lows. And how have you guys able to maintain a mindset of it's not as bad as it looks when it's bad, it's not as good as it looks when it's good, and to just be able to continue that even keelness, I guess, that you guys seem to have been able to do all year?
I mean, Coach talks about that ad nauseum. Even when we win, like even last game, he's like, okay, well, you're not the 7-3-9 Warriors. Like, you're not the best team. And when we lost to Baylor, he's always like, you're not the worst team. Like, you're not the Charlotte Bobcats. Like, it's kind of just keeping our minds on the next goal. So it's like, okay, we beat UCF. All right, now let's go beat Utah. It's not, we're going to go celebrate, have a parade back here in Morgantown. Like, you got to stay focused. And I think he does a good job of preaching that to us. And then also just knowing we play in the best league in America. So Utah's 1-11, but close games with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're coming in here like terrible, like it's going to be a dogfight, and we know that. So just him speaking like that ad nauseum, like I said, just trying to tell us to be even killed, the highs, the lows, never lose your confidence, never lose the good hearts that we have, but understanding that every game is going to present a battle, and we got to be ready for each game.
Prior to this season, were you that type of guy, being able to stay even killed through the course of the season, or did you let the big wins or the bad losses kind of sink in?
I think in this year I've been more team oriented than I've always. Like last year, if I had a bad game, it was the end of the world. Like I don't care if we won or lost. Like if I played bad, that kind of conformed my whole mood and day. So this year, just being able to think about the conformities of the team more than just myself. If we're winning, that's all that matters, and I think that's more important. And staying focused on the season, I think I've been better this year, especially with this coaching staff. Obviously, I love my coaches at Chat, and they did a good job of helping me too. But Hodge and this staff do a good job of like always keeping me. If I have a good game, I'm not Steph Curry, and if I have a bad game, I'm not, again, the Charlotte Bobcats. So I think they did a good job for me personally.
Was that something you wanted to change yourself, or was it kind of a push from the coaching staff?
Yeah. I think it deterred everything around me if I had a bad game or if we lost. Like it just consumed my whole aura. And I think this year, especially because we're so pointed on defense, it's like, all right, you're not doing good offensively, but what can you do to impact winning otherwise? And I think I've expanded my horizon and mind and game like that this year with these coaches, and I think it's something I wanted to work on and why I chose to come here and play for Coach Hodge.
Charlotte's the middle of the conference right now.
Not the Bobcats, though.
Okay. Hey, this time last couple of years, your season is shaping up for 1 week in the conference tournament. Very different now.
Yeah.
Just take me through what's that like, knowing that these are really important games that even whatever happens in Kansas City, these really matter because maybe you don't win in Kansas City.
Right. I'm gonna be real honest. We try to focus on the next game. The next game is the biggest game of the season. Besides Kansas City, besides UCF on senior night, like Utah, like that's kind of where our mind is on and where we need to be focused on. But obviously, we're not naive to the fact that these games are important. And obviously, we want to make a good push to cement our name to be able to get called to play in the tournament. So we understand that. But we also want to take it one game at a time. And until we get to Kansas City, we want to focus on who we have to take care of, and that's Utah tomorrow night.
All right, good answer. political. Let me flip it around. What was it like in the past, knowing that you're finishing your games in February, but you're going to have to win, 3 or 4 games in the conference tournament if you want to get to the tournament?
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a different mindset. It's like, obviously you want to win the most games you can. Obviously last year we won the regular season, but that doesn't do anything because, like you said, we have to go into the tournament and win those games, which we lost in the semifinals. So it's kind of, it doesn't put a pressure, I would say, but it definitely adds value to each game that we play in this regular season because, like you said, we want to be able to cement our names before the conference tournament so we don't have to rely on winning in the conference tournament to go to the tournament. So I think that's the kind of difference because, even last year in the SoCon, you have to win the tournament to go. So it's definitely a different mindset for sure.
It seems like a lot of teams nowadays, there's one guy on the team, whether it's self-appointed or whatever, who he's checking the net, he's checking all the different metrics to this time of year. Do you guys have one of those guys, like a player on the team who does that?
Nah, not really. I mean, our GAs do it a lot. Like Stone talked to me this morning about our pace, our net ranking, our score, our offensive rating in the conference, stuff like that. But us as players now, we just focus on the task at hand.
Hypothetical question for you. You have an open 23-footer, or you see what you think is a path to get to the rim or deep into the lane. Which one do you choose?
The open three at 1,000%. I don't even care if no one's in the paint. I'm shooting. I'm shooting it.
I asked that because it seems like you have added that drive to your game a little bit. Not that it's your whole game,
right?
But you had a couple times where you got to the rim and scored there against UCF.
Yeah.
It seems like that has been at least a little bit of an addition this year.
Yeah, I can't rely on my three-pointer as much as I have in the past. You kind of I had to expand my game a little bit coming here, and that's another reason I wanted to come here because I knew I'd be able to play with the ball in my hands a lot more here. And knowing that the three wasn't falling as well, and it hasn't been falling as well in conference play, being able to get to the basket and create for others or myself at the rim has been big for me to still have an impact on the game if I'm not shooting the best.
High-scoring guard. What do you see in Utah's backcourt? Statistically, one guy's averaging 20, another guy's averaging 18. Just what are you seeing with McHenry and Brown?
It's funny because the assistant coach at FDU who coached Terrence Brown, it was coached me at Chattanooga. So that I've been kind of in tune with his game long before he went to Utah. But I mean, he's a prolific scorer. I mean, he's done it at the mid-major ranks to now, so it doesn't change. And those create challenges for us, obviously, but nothing that we're afraid of or can't take. And then we have, I think, the best defender in our conference in the country in Jasper Floyd, so I know he'll do a good job. And then I'm guarding the other 18-point. The 18-point game we're talking about, that's me. But, just having trust in our defensive game plan and the scout that these coaches put together, and I think we'll do a good job of, you're never going to leave them on 0 points, but to slow them down a little bit, halt their runs is going to be big. I mean, they score the ball. That's what they do. They don't have any problem scoring that basketball. I can tell you that much. So we just can't help them and give them easy looks.
From your perspective as his teammate, what has Harlan brought to the team? Even if he's not big on the stat sheet and points-wise or anything, what has Harlan brought to these last couple of games?
I tell him, and you could ask him this, I tell him this every game, you win us these games. It's just his energy. If he gets an offensive rebound, he's yelling. You can hear it back in Hoxie, Kansas, where he's from. Every time he yells, just his energy he brings, it gets us going. And then literally UCF, I kid you not, when we were down 14, he kept tapping my leg. He was like, it's your time. It's go time. You're the best shooter in the country. We need you. And just his energy, his mindset, his enthusiasm, his encouragement is what gets us going through these games. And I tell him all the time, you're the reason we win these games or we come back or we sustain the lead because your energy is just infectious and it provides a spark for everyone when he's not even scoring or getting an assist. Just him getting a foul call on a rebound, it just, you hear that's the day, it just gets us going and we have to feed off that because, again, we understand he's not big on the stat sheet, but that doesn't get put on the stat sheet what he brings to the table and the value he has.
What you were able to do in the second half against UCF, does that kind of speak to what you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, I mean, just – what are you talking about, with Harlan? Or just – oh, me.
Yeah, the way that, you started slow and then obviously erupted in the second half.
Yeah, I think I've fallen –
Could you have done that in the past before?
Yeah, I think I got to stop doing that. I'm tired of doing that. Golly, my dad was pretty upset with me on the phone yesterday. He just you got to stop doing that. You only go hard or something when, you know, your back's against the wall, you have no choice. Why don't you like start out like that? But I mean, obviously that's easier said than done, but I just think I don't want to let my teammates down, and I think sometimes I'm very lethargic on the offensive end in the first half, just kind of going through the motions. And then when it's time to, like, all right, let's go, I kind of get myself going. And, you know, like I said, I don't want to let my teammates down. So in those first halves when I come out with 0 or 3, it's like, damn, like, I mean, whatever you want to put it, I'm our leading scorer. And obviously they rely on me to score. So if I'm not doing that, and I can play defense, I can do all the other intangibles, but at the end of the day, I'm here to score the basketball. So it's like, if I'm not doing that, I need to pick it up, and I think I do a good job of that in the second half of most of these games, but hopefully I can translate that to both halves. That'll help us immensely.
I was just trying to run the past games through my head. Seems like it's maybe been a week or a couple of weeks since you guys were like the favorite going into a game. Obviously that's going to be the situation tomorrow. You talked about how competitive this league is.
Yeah.
So what is it feel like, you know, being the favorite for a Big 12 game? I mean, is there any different thinking at all behind that?
I mean, we was a favorite for the Baylor game, and they came in here and cooked me specifically. But I don't really even know when we're the favorite, when we're not. If I'm being completely honest with you, I actually don't even know. So just having the same mindset every game of just battling, because we know, like I said, it's going to be a dogfight no matter who we play in this conference. So just having the same kind of preparation and mental preparation of, you know, we got to play our best games, especially, like he said, you know, it's a lot of on the line in these games, and we understand that. Like I said, we're not naive to it. So we're just having the same mindset, whether we're the underdog or we're projected to win.
Do you feel like the rest, the week off that you had, do you feel like that guys kind of helped you find that energy to make that comeback?
Yeah. You know, Coach said it the best. He said we had to figure out a way. It was going to be a battle of who took those rest days the best and used them and utilized them the best way they could, and I think we did. I mean, I think they did a good job of, you know, balancing it out of we practice hard, but, you know, we have a day off, kind of relaxed, treatment day. You know what I'm saying? So I think we were energized and ready. Obviously, we fell down a little bit, but be able to bring that spark within each other, I think that was big with that week off, just togetherness that we present.
Anything else? Thank you.
Appreciate it.